Whether you're looking for answers to specific life questions or seeking to become the best version of you possible, welcome to the Mental Breakdown and Psychreg podcast, where we offer insight, information, and strategies based upon research and years of practice as clinical psychologists. So sit back, have a listen, and get connected with our hosts, Dr. Berney Wilkinson and Dr. Richard Marshall. Welcome back. Richard, today we're going to talk about some secrets. Secrets to a less stressful life. Now, this is an article written by Dr. Lisa Firestone in Psychology Today, and it's from last month, April of 2017. And she goes through 10 secrets for living a less stressful life. And we like all of them, but we're going to go through them pretty quickly. So we would really encourage you to follow the link in the show notes so that you can read about them in a little bit more detail. Because we don't want to, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on each one of them, but we will mention each one. Yeah.
And we've talked about many of these before, but I like the way she summarizes them. Yeah. And this is one that I think I'm going to keep and share with others. And so I'd like to run through these very quickly.
Yeah. So the first secret is to get a hold of your inner critic.
Right.
So really looking at yourself and looking at how you judge and criticize and evaluate other things. Because, the more that you negatively evaluate things, the more you're going to feel negative.
Right. And we talked about catastrophizing.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is what we do when we catastrophize. We attack ourselves. You're not good at this. You can't do it. This is impossible. So silence your inner critic.
Right.
Start with that.
Right. Now the second secret is practice pressing the pause button.
Absolutely. And we don't do enough of that.
Right. I know. I don't. I don't. Because we feel like we have to fill every moment with something. And it's important to take a pause.
That's right. When life starts to overwhelm you, and it does to all of us, whether you're raising children, you have a job, you're a student, periodically life gets ahead of us. Okay, pause.
Right.
Hit the pause button. Okay, just stop, because it's not as bad as it's never as bad as it feels.
Right.
Okay? But you've got to hit the pause button so that you don't get overwhelmed by circumstances.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Just give yourself a little bit of time. Yeah.
Right.
So, number 3, embrace mindfulness without judgment.
That's right.
We're big fans of mindfulness. They talk here about that William James quote, that the greatest weapon against stress is the ability to choose one thought over another.
That's right.
And I think that there are times when we forget that we have that ability.
That's right.
We forget that we can do that because we have certain thoughts that jump into our mind, and we act as though that's just the way that we're supposed to think, or we think that that's the only way to think about things, and we need to expand that a little bit.
When we get one of those negative daggers, first of all, stop, pause, okay, and rethink it.
Right.
Okay, get some different words and rethink the whole thing, because again, it's never as bad as it first seems.
Right.
Stop, pause, reorganize yourself, and replace one thought with another.
Right. Absolutely. So, number 4, give yourself permission to stop worrying.
Right.
Now, this, I know that I work on this with a lot of patients because they feel like they're supposed to worry. And that worrying is this, well, maybe that's a topic for another podcast. I'll ask people sometimes, are you the type of person that worries very much? And they'll say, yes, I worry all the time. What do you worry about? Well, I worry about my kids, and I worry about, this and that. It's like, okay, that's life.
Right.
You don't have to worry about. You want to be cognizant of it. You want to be aware of it. You want to be prepared for some of those things. But you don't have to worry about some of those things.
I had a friend one time who was obviously worried about something, and I said, "Well, you really don't need to worry about that." And she said, "Well, somebody has to." And I thought, "Wait, why does somebody have to worry about that?"
I would choose somebody else.
It's not obligatory that somebody but she said, "No, somebody has to worry about it." And I thought, no.
But that is a perspective that a lot of people have.
That's right, and so it might as well be me.
If I don't worry about it, it's going to go unworried
That's right.
about, and then
And then things will really get bad if we don't worry about it.
and then who knows
That's right.
what will happen
So I
or
have
not
this
happen.
moral obligation to worry.
That's right.
No, you don't. You don't have to worry, because worry isn't going to do anything for
Right.
you.
Right.
It doesn't get you anywhere.
Exactly. Number 5, be around people who make you feel good.
Boy.
I had this conversation with a person the other day that, we were talking about friends and we were talking about relationships and how, there are some relationships that make you feel good and some relationships that make you feel bad. And we sometimes get that confused that, first of all, we don't have to have a relationship with everybody.
That's right.
But second of all, we get to judge what type of what type of relationship we have with people. Right. So if somebody makes you feel bad, but you don't want to ostracize them, you don't want to push them away, right. You can still gauge how you interact with them, the nature of that interaction,
how often, and what you do. And if you really don't like being with somebody, then don't take a road trip with that person.
Right.
Doesn't mean you can't see that person.
Right.
You just don't spend large amounts of time with that person.
Yeah. Okay. You get to make those decisions.
Right.
And so you want to, and one of those decisions should be to spend as much time as you can with people that make you feel good.
If somebody said you have 3 months to live, who do you want to be with?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then avoid the others.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It sounds mean, but it's not mean.
No.
It's just reality.
Right.
All right. Number 6. Try out a different perspective.
Right.
Now, this is something that's really difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah, I do.
Really, this one's because hard. They get so fixed on one perspective because that's just the only perspective that they can see.
That's right.
And when we sort of function from that angle, it really narrows your options. It really narrows all of your opportunities and the way that you can manage things.
Yeah, look at it differently. Try to put yourself in a different place. Look at the thing differently, and you might come up with a very different solution.
Right. Yeah. Just shift that perspective just a little bit. And one
because we tend to look at everything from the same point of view.
And one way to really easily do that is those people that make you feel good that you were hanging out with. Right. Talk to them. See what their perspective is. They may give you a different view of it.
Exactly.
So, number 7. Make self-compassion a permanent goal. Gotta like yourself, people.
This one's hard to do too.
Yeah.
Okay. But you have to have permission to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to have permission not to worry. You have to have permission to have some self-compassion.
Do you like yourself? I really dig myself.
Oh, good.
I think.
Don't we know it? It's called narcissism, Bernie.
Well. Maybe.
No, you're not a narcissist.
No, I think that you have to feel good about yourself. You have to, and it's not necessarily that you like everything about yourself or that you don't have goals of getting better in different areas. It's that you like the type of person that you are. You like the way that you work with people, the work that you do. You have to like yourself. If you don't like yourself, number 6, that being around people who make you feel good, you're not going to choose people that make you feel good if you don't like yourself because you're going to think that you're not worthy. And
we're also not talking about self-love. We're talking about self-compassion.
Right.
You have to be a little bit... You can't be so hard on... Many people are really hard on themselves. I mean, I'm not good at this, and I didn't do a good job with this, and I didn't do this, and I didn't finish this. And, it's just like... It's all these negative all this negative self-talk. And what we're saying is, wait a minute. Be as compassionate with yourself as you are with others. We're always giving other people, hey, don't be so hard on yourself. Well, don't be so hard on yourself.
Right, you too.
But practice self-compassion. You're entitled.
Right. Now, number 8 is develop strategies to calm yourself down.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, I really like the idea of relaxation. Calming yourself, whether it's through meditation or running or whatever the case may be, whatever it is that you need to do to bring that stress level down. That's right. Do it.
That's right. And you have to develop these strategies, because if you don't, stress will get the better of you.
Right.
It's like these big ocean waves that, if you can stay in front of them, you enjoy them. But every once in a while, they overwhelm you.
Right.
And then you can get into trouble. It's the same with this. Yeah. So find ways to stop those negative thoughts before they overwhelm you.
Right. Now, number 9 is noticing the triggers that set you off. Okay, so you have to, and so this is coming into the idea of some self-awareness.
Right.
What are things that happen, things that occur in your life that really set off your anxiety, and deal with those. Get rid of those, manage those, prepare for those, whatever it is that you need to do to reduce the impact that they have on your life.
That's right. I have a deadline coming up, so and I know that when I get deadlines, I get highly stressed. And I take it out on my kids, or I take it out on the dog. If you know that's coming, do some preparation.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be a tough time, so take things out of your life that you don't need, and put some things in that you do need.
Right.
So
yeah, absolutely.
What are your triggers, and stay away from them.
Right. And number 10 is to take positive actions. Yeah. Right. Take control of things. Take control of your life. Do something and take action with it. If you have a goal, if you have a plan, just start. Do it.
Do it.
Yeah, don't sit back and wait. Take action, and as you take action and see progress, that's going to increase your motivation to keep going.
We mentioned a couple of weeks ago in one of our podcasts that when you're starting to feel depressed, your tendency is to reduce your activity level. And we said, no, that's the time when you have to get out and you have to do things.
Right.
You can't just sit back. The woman who's in charge of Facebook, I've forgotten her name. She lost her husband about a year ago, and there was an article, and she said, you have to keep moving. You have to keep going. You don't want to, and you think you can't, but she said that's the time when you have to keep moving.
Absolutely. Absolutely so. All right.
Right.
That was 10. We got through them pretty good.
Got through all 10.
Yeah. So, but go
Good
to the
advice
article
there.
and read them so you get a little bit more detail. But
Right.
a few announcements.
Right.
So this podcast is actually going out on May 11th. So this evening.
This is the day.
This evening,
Right.
May 11th, we are hosting the next YouTube Live event where we're going to talk about episodes 3 and 4 of 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah.
And so, you should be, if you're following us on Twitter and Facebook and everything, you should be able to find the link to the YouTube chat so that you can click it and follow us and get in there
and participate
and participate in our podcast this evening. That'll be at 6:30
tonight.
Eastern Standard Time, where we will be talking about again episodes 3 and 4 of 13 Reasons Why. The live event lasts about an hour or so. That's what they have been. And we're going to kind of dissect the episodes a little bit and talk about them from a psychological perspective, from a parenting perspective, from a teen life perspective, and just to sort of give you maybe a little bit different of a perspective of the information that you could get from this, albeit fictional depiction of teenage life. It is a pretty realistic depiction of teenage life. So that'll be tonight, May 11th at 6:30 p.m. Check that out. And follow us on Twitter and Facebook and everything, because we're going to have another event next week. Over the next few weeks, we're going to go through the different episodes and talk about them. So please check it out, follow us, and join in on the conversation, because it's been a blast talking to people and interacting with those in the chat room who have questions and have comments and stuff while we're doing it. Yeah, it's not like these where we're recording it, a week ahead of time, and hopefully hear from people, well after we record it. So the second thing is that we have a new contest going on with Lumie, Lumie, Lumie.com. And this is a contest for our UK listeners.
That's right.
So it's just for the UK, but follow us on Twitter at the Psychreg podcast. So it's Psychreg at the @ symbol.
Right.
Psychreg podcast for information about how you can register to win a Lumie device. And Lumie has a lot of great things. So those of you here in the United States, you can get one too. You may have to purchase it, but you just can't win in the contest. But who knows what the future will hold as it relates to other contests that we might be able to do. But Lumie is a terrific product that, and they have different things, but one of them is that we really like is the wake up lights.
Wake up lights. Love the wake up lights.
Wake up lights are a great way to wake up in the morning, because it's non Not abusive.
Intrusive, abusive. That's right.
It's just your
Invasive.
body. Your body wakes up naturally with sunlight. And
I
so
can't think
it's
of
a nice way
anything
to
worse
wake up.
than waking up to an alarm clock buzzing.
Yeah.
It rips you out of a very sound
Right,
sleep, probably at exactly the wrong time in the sleep cycle.
Exactly.
So these lights are a clever device.
Yeah.
These lights wake you up naturally.
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
natural light that gradually brightens.
Right. They also have lights for seasonal affective disorder.
Right.
So if you're up in the north
climes.
areas, you know, you can check that out because especially during the winter, it may be something that's helpful. So, all right.
And the clear acne light too.
Oh yeah, they have an acne light as well that will help with sort of clear up some of those complexion issues.
You mentioned the at. Do you know why the @ sign was selected?
Why?
We'll talk about that someday.
Okay, gracious.
There's a good reason why it was selected for @
Okay. So, I don't know.
You brought up
I don't
Charlie
know.
Chaplin.
That was like
in Walmart.
That was like years ago. All right. So, until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and forget to be afraid.